And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this stream of the BCB League game, hosted by Nottingham Hoods against the Bristol Flyers Seconds at the Mapley Sports Village. Unfortunately, the normal home court of the Hoods unavailable today, so instead the followers of the Hoods have rammed themselves into the training centre down here in Mapley in Nottingham, and it genuinely is rammed. Not a seat in the house, and plenty of people still waiting to try to find out if they can get in. So we've got about 1.5 minutes or so, just over that, before the teams line up at the start. Both teams wanting to set 2026 off to a great beginning. Hoods had to cancel their game the other day. Again, issues with their home court meant that they could not play their game at home to Worthing. So it means they've had a good couple of weeks since their last game. And they host a Bristol team still hunting around and searching for that elusive first win. Bristol Flyers Seconds, they are that team that are trying to develop players, and putting them in this league is certainly doing that. Some of their players have been playing really, really well as of late. It's the experience bringing alongside those trying to get used to the speed and the tempo of games at this level. So the starting fives for both teams. We've got Marvin Dinnell. He's going to be integral for the Bristol Flyers, as is the new man for Nottingham Hoods, Janine Griffith. He takes a place in the centre of that defence, trying to patrol and protect that basket. Both teams actually quite similar in terms of their stats this season. They're averaging similar kind of numbers across the board from 2-point, from 3-point, but it's just that average scores that's letting them down. Bristol really need to chase the numbers, but Hoods certainly not massive favourites in terms of this game. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how they come out of the new year, who's had too much Christmas pudding, and exactly how many mince pies have settled down. But as the teams step onto court, I don't know if you can hear the illustrious sounds of PJ and Duncan in the background, because we're getting ready to rumble here in the MSV. Team stepping out on court. Price, Igby, Nassim Lajimi. He had a good game the last time these two teams met. So these two teams are due to know each other quite well over the next couple of weeks. Hoods have the home advantage this week, and then next week they travel down to Bristol. But they met in pre-season. But I do know that both teams were very, very different right at the start of this season, rather. Hoods welcoming Matt Donnell Nixon the second. They've certainly missed his controlling situation in terms of running the offense and knowing where people should be. So having him back from injury is a real boost to 2026 for the Hoods. So we're about to have Griffith, Igby lining up for the tip-off. Looks like everybody's just about ready. There is literally no room in this space. Here's hoping no one trips over anything. And Hoods control the tip. Nixon the second. Guarded by Lajimi. Tries to find the screen. Bailey finds Griffith down low. Big man goes to her early doors. Strong make at the start of 2026. So Roman Price draws the first foul and puts Griffith to the line. Tests the big man from the strike. And makes the extras. Bristol control. Dinall, guarded by Akano. Finds Price at the top. Dinall guarded by Akano still. And his captain, and then swings it back round. Dinall finds Price on the inside. For the early bucket. Hood's under pressure early doors, but get over the press to find their top scorer, as of late, Tyrone Williams. He'll be looking to get himself back on that scoreboard. Nixon looking to try and get past the corner, but there was a foul called early doors. Ainola with that one. So Hood's drawing the contact, giving them the ball. Akano runs the offense. The difficulty with new players. You can see them talking to each other. A little bit of confusion between the new big man and Sam Akano, who's been here for the last 2-3 seasons. Hood's starting to put up pressure. Akano guarding Dinall. Finds that screen again. Price sets it strong. Ball runs loose. And Hood's ball. Bristol with the full court. Donnell Nixon trapped in underneath the basket. Bailey. Hood's trying to stay nice and calm and composed. Again, this is what Hood's really missed at the end of 2025. Donnell Nixon the second, just taking control, calming things down and finding Tyrone Williams, who spins towards the basket. And the ball runs loose for Flyers ball. Dinall finds Ainola. If I remember rightly, Ainola had a strong pre-season game back here. Was exactly in this building. Bristol controlled. Dinall tries to find Egby underneath, but kickball sends it back to Bristol possession. Marvin Dinall, one of those players who seems like he's been around for ages. Here he is again. Controls. Fakes the shot. Finds Price on the inside. Roman Price with the two. Ball in quickly. Finds a Sam Akano, who will want to go at pace. Williams back to Akano with the lefty finish. Great on-court vision by Tyrone Williams. Some great screens being set by Bristol to find the open men. Egby puts it up. Williams, ball under the basket. Bristol definitely under instruction to put pressure on full court. Lajimi finds the bottom of the basket for the first three of the evening. Nixon the second. Gets bumped by Lajimi on his way past. And you can see Bristol's intent to try to put pressure on full court and try to put Hoods under a little bit of the cosh to see how they react. They are wanting all 94 feet. Have they got that for the entire game? I don't know. We'll see. Especially if Hoods can make a couple of defensive rebounds and run the court, because they can get down quick. Akano back to Bailey. Fakes the outside. Goes to the inside. Bumped on the way through. Egby called again. That's two, I believe, early doors. So Hood's in possession from the sideline. My apologies to Reginald Egby. That was his first foul. Donnell finds Elliot Bailey, who just finds the rim and nothing else. Ainola on the break. Fouled by Donnell Nixon the second, as he steps across him and draws nothing but the contact. Sideline ball. Najimi finds Price. Swings straight away. Dinall looking for things to unfold. Finds Ionola. Puts it up from the outside but runs loose. Samarkano. Tyrone Williams. Again from the outside. Dinall controls the rebound and controls the offense. Roman Price sets a good pick. And again, there's that pick and roll. Good rebound though. Finds the big man down low. Gets fouled on his way up. Tonight Griffith bumped again on his way to the basket. He is certainly a handful underneath hoop. So subs in. Agby sits down. Makes the first. And the second as well. Chennai Griffith strong from the stripe right now. Dinall. Guarded by Akano. Putting the pressure on. Bukaregwe on for the first time. Guarded by Chennai Griffith. Strips the man. Comes loose and ends up Hood's ball. Bailey to put in. Finds Donnell. Gets rid of his man through his speed. Puts up from distance. Finds the rim. Ionola. Goes to the basket. Gets fouled on his way through. So both teams trying to work out exactly where they're at the moment. And where we're at is Bristol possession. There's Lanre Ionola step into the stripe. Pulls up on the front rim. And he makes second. Bailey with the handoff to find Nixon. Gets it back. Bailey from the distance for the extra one. Bumped on his way through. Roman Price again. That pick and roll being really, really effective. Bristol setting it really high. First sub in for Hoods, bringing Bryce Johnson onto court for the first time. Gives Chennai Griffith a rest. So Roman Price on the stripe. Makes the first one. Runs loose. Controlled by Bailey. Bryce Johnson pushes up court. Akano finds a rushing Donnell Nixon second. Hoods are very happy to run. If they can get out, if they can deny and grab good offensive boards, they will get out and go. Having said that, they will also sometimes throw the ball away. Offensive foul call. That's a good stand. Elliot Bailey. Price did go straight into him. Bailey stood his ground. Made up for throwing the ball away. Got it back. Slightly an unusual way of doing so, but so there's me talking about quick transition, and the Hoods managed to throw the ball away straight away. In the meantime, Bristol putting on the pressure. Akano guarded by Dinall. Dinall reacting well. Bailey sets the pick, finds himself free, sets his feet, and finds another three-pointer. If they are going to go under those screens, Elliot Bailey can hit threes. We know this. Foul call that time. Samakano is reaching and got called for it that time. So I get the feeling that it's going to be him sat down. Yeah, quite right. Terry Walker comes on. Terry Walker, one of the defensive leaders of the Hoods, has really put his stamp on it within the last season. Egby finds Dinall, guarded by Donnell Nixon the second. Johnson with the intercept, goes up, throws down. And a timeout calls. So first timeout goes to Bristol, putting on lots of pressure. Getting it down. I'd like to take the first opportunity of a break in the game to say hello to the Nixon family, who will no doubt be watching over somewhere over in Georgia, I believe. And probably the Williams family as well, out in Philadelphia. Hello to you all. Thank you for checking out the stream. And it's our pleasure to bring you this game from the BCB Vision. So, like I mentioned, this place is, well, it's your standard practice facility, to be fair. It's the space that Hoods have had to play a couple of games. And it's meant that Harvey Haddon is one of those places that it's a really, really good facility, but it's great to have this as a backup. But it does mean that because the Hoods are starting to get more and more fans, it does mean it gets fuller and fuller. Not necessarily an easy thing to do when the game is literally right up to the edge. I'm just tucking my knees in to make sure everyone can get past. So Bristol ball back in. Ekwe gets fouled on the way up. Drew the contact quite well, to be fair. So then that puts Bristol back to the line. Ibuka Ekwe step into the line. Makes the first.
Nottingham, make some noise.
Hoods fans desperately trying to put off. Sorry, I got distracted there for a moment. So Bristol made a couple of buckets, and Nixon just takes control back again. Finds Walker. Bailey looking for options. Finds Tyrone Williams. Donnell Nixon the second. Puts it up. Hoods control the rebounds. Back round. Hoods resetting. Back to Williams. Looking for the lefty drive. Pulls up from the mid-range. That's the two. Ekwe guarded by Nixon. And Johnson shifts it to the corner. Egby finds the rebound. Brown gives it back. Egby goes again. Goes to the glass and makes the 2. Bristol still pushing on this full court press. Who's taking their time with it at the moment? Walker. Next in the second. There's Bailey. Finds the edge of the rim and the ball runs loose. Dinal trying to get Bristol on the break again. A bounce pass intercepted. Finds Nixon. Puts it up. Ooh. Every single member of the crowd was hoping that was going in. In fact, I do believe the Hood's social media was hoping that was going in as well, because that would have been clipped up and all over the place. That was a lovely feed and so close. So close. So Hood's making changes. Denell Nixon sits down for a break and Micah Saviour-Richards comes on. If you could lip read what Tyrone Williams is saying right now. Anyway, we're back to the game. Bristol come back. Here's Brown. Finds Egby. Finds Ekwe. From the top. Pulls up. Runs loose. Hoods out rebound each other. Saviour-Richards. Couldn't quite get in there. That was just Hoods out rebounding Hoods. Doesn't happen often, but sometimes it's just one of those things.
There's a lot of energy from that corner.
Lanre Ayanola runs loose on the first. Runs, tries to push it further, but doesn't make. Williams controls. Guarded by Ayanola now. Walker. Bryce Johnson. Shifts it round. Saviour-Richards. Micah looks. Williams puts it up. And makes the extra. Great follow-up by Bryce Johnson. Ekwe. Ekwe, I know, is a new member of the Bristol squad. But is obviously a player that Hoods haven't necessarily been able to scout for. Is making a really big impact. Subs in by both teams. Luca Matthews on for Bristol and Janai Griffith back on court for the Hoods. So Abuke Gray with the follow-up and makes the additional. Williams, ball runs loose, miscommunication. Ball runs loose, both teams scrapping and scrabbling for the ball. Ekwe again. Ibuka Ekwe making himself well known. Hoods under pressure. Walker, ball runs loose, gets it over the halfway line. Saviour-Richards. Foul was called against Micah Saviour-Richards that time. Offensive foul called. So, point game. Matthews. That's Bebe. Bukaregwe. Strip that time. Williams. Goes straight through Egwe. Ball runs loose. Everyone had hands on it. Cherry Walker on defense. Brown mops up. Ekwe again. Feeling it. Luca Matthews could not control that rebound, and it drops into the hands of Savoury Richards, who pushes up court. Walker to Griffith. Griffith going to work inside. And again, gets fouled. Equa this time with the foul. Janai Griffith has the possession and has the free throws. So, this is a little discussion over the side, coaches and referees. And Griffith back to the stripe. Makes that first one. Second shot runs loose into the last 30 seconds of the first quarter. Equa finds Bebe. Anthony Behabi guarded strongly by Thierry Walker. Ball run loose once again. And the dunk does not count. Unfortunately, the buzzer went just before he managed to put that one down. So that means we end up that first quarter 22 points to 20. Hoods up by the one basket. And that's the end of the first quarter. So the Hoods hosting the Flyers this week, and then next week, next Saturday, they travel down to Bristol for the return leg. Both these teams made changes to their rosters since the start of the season, and certainly still very competitive, and I think will continue to be so over the process over the next couple of hours. Couple of hours? This game is not going on that long. So we're coming straight into the second quarter. Bristol possession. And the captain, Nassim Lajimi, about to put the ball in, just minding out of the way while people come back with their hot dogs. Yep. I think we've got a good zoom in there on the Bristol kit. There's the captain putting it in. Behavi guarded by Walker. Finds Lajimi. Guarded by Williams. Roman Price back on. Lajimi finds a bit more space. 3 seconds called. Haven't heard a 3-second violation call for a long, long time. But that does just show the fact that the referees can blow the whistle accordingly. Micah gets rid of Matthews. Back to Williams. Williams gets the screen from Bryce Johnson. Janai Griffith kicks it round. Walker Hoods lose possession because the shot didn't hit the ring, so the ball gets turned over. You see the disappointment on the players' faces when these things happen. Just running out of time. So Bristol possession, Lajimi once again to put in. Baby, guided by Walker. Walker skips underneath the screen. Looking for options. Interception. Williams makes the 2. Walker again with the pressure. Mahabi shifts it around. Lajimi pulls up for the mid-range. Tyrone Williams. Guarded by Lajimi this time. Finds Bryce Johnson. Inside to Janai. Foul called. It was not a foul, my apologies. Good hands, good pressure from the Hoods. Referee gets himself down court quickly. Nixon gets bumped on his way. So Baby makes that. I'm very aware of the fact that my pronunciation is a little bit ropey at times. So apologies to Anthony Baby. Hoods with possession, finds Nixon, finds Griffith. Called as an offensive foul against Janai Griffith. So Bristol possession. And the Hood's starting to put up a little bit more pressure this time. Got past it. The 3 by Matthews misses and Tyrone Williams comes down with it. Takes on Lajimi. Goes to the basket and the inside out lefty. Makes. Good pressure by Savory Richards. Ball runs loose. Price shifts it round. Lajimi from deep. Hoods possession. So Hoods with the ball from the sideline. It's one of those ones once again where both teams putting on a lot of pressure for each other. And until one kind of like pulls away, it's going to be a tight game all the way through. Johnson gets the ball back from Nixon. It's ball to Williams on the handoff. Finds Johnson, finds the baseline, back to the rebound. Griffith gets fouled on the way through. So subs back for Bristol. Luca Matthews sits back down. And Lanray Ayanola once again. Hoods bringing on new man. Latrell Maitland on court for the first time this evening as Tyrone Williams takes a break. And Janai Griffiths converts the first of his free throws. Impressed with Janai Griffith from the stripe. This is the first time I've seen him in the flesh, and he's certainly doing that part of his job really, really well. Price. Igby. Back to Price again. Baby loses it. Johnson controls. Man on him. Finds the space anyway. And finds the basket. Lovely move by Bryce Johnson. Defence into attack. And Hoods make another basket. So the Hoods pressure really paying off in terms of the last 3 or 4 minutes. Pulling away a little bit. Well, not pulling away, but certainly giving himself a little bit of breathing room currently. Starting to put pressure on the Bristol ball handlers in order to get a little bit more that they could do something with, and again utilising the opportunities on the break that allows, when you do have Bryce Johnson and Janai Griffith, you've got a couple of people who are used to playing down low. Hoods have had one of those situations this season where they've had a lot of players playing bigger than their size, if that makes sense. People playing in roles they're not necessarily used to. So it's nice to see the fact that you've got big men doing big men things. In the same way, to be brutally honest, Bristol been really impressed with Roman Price so far. Been doing a really, really good job just doing what he's supposed to be doing. Setting picks, rolling strong to the basket, grabbing boards, offloading. He's been really impressive, as indeed has Ebuka Ekwe, who has just stepped back on court. So Bristol possession, and it's Ekwe who brings the ball up, guarded by Johnson. There's that screen by Price. Ekwe gets denied. Clean by Janai Griffith. Bryce Johnson to the rack. Looked like he ran out of space or hurt himself, one or the other. Hopefully not the second, which could definitely do without another injury right now. So Bristol make the two. Yeah, it's back in Hood's possession. Nixon guarded by Dinnell. Savory Richards finds Donnell Nixon. Kicks out on the back of his hand. Doesn't quite make it to the man he intended to. Turnovers once again having a hell of a game for both these two teams. I think it's one of the reasons why the percentages and the numbers are exactly what they are for both of these teams. Hell of a screen by Roman Price. I'll be brutally honest, I think that's a bit of a make-up call. Savory Richards got taken out by a screen, which I thought was fairly well set. But then Roman Price did move into that one. I think that the refs had their eagle eyes on that one. So some people would suggest that could be a make-up call. I couldn't possibly be one of them. So Hood's possession, sideline. You can tell that the Bristol coach thinks exactly the same. He did not think there was a foul involved there. And the official, once again, just having a nice conversation, just having a bit of a chat. So, ball in, Maitland. Guarded by Lajimi. Latrell Maitland. Really good to see him back in the Hoods jersey. Bailey. Ball runs loose. Great pass inside. Bristol able to get their hands on it before Janai could go up for the shot. So Ayanola, his hands on the ball. Leaving it Hood's possession with a short shot clock. Bailey finds the bottom of the rim. Unsportsmanlike foul called against Latrell Maitland. Because he did not look like he was making any real attempt to get the ball. So Ayanola steps to the line with no rebound lineup. The first one runs long. And the second one runs loose as well. But Bristol had possession. Nassim Najimi, captain, stepping across again. Maitland guard in. Good pressure from Griffith. Denor, guarded by Savory Richards. Inola, the roll. Extra steps. Foul called against Hoods again. Savory Richards takes the call this time. Pushing the back while he was trying to grab that rebound. So Bristol possession, Dinnell. Shifts it round. Dinnell guarded by Nixon. Dinnell goes, throws it up. Another foul called against Hoods. Hoods racking up fouls right now. That's surely them on team fouls this quarter. No, not just, yeah. So Dinnell back to the line. Friendly roll off the iron. Makes the first. Dinnell makes both. And subs in. First time on court this evening, Zach Riabi from Bristol. Nixon the second. Brings it up court. And there is a massive difference when he's on court, bringing the ball up, just keeping control. Bailey picks it up, finds Griffith down low. Goes to a little mid-range, misses. Savory Richards had hand to the ball, but the ref called kick ball to gain control. So, Bristol possession. Dinnell with Micah Savory Richards on him. Higby. Zach Riabi, first thing he does, puts up. Hits the rim. Savory Richards. Foul called against Hoods for an offensive foul. So 4-point game, 26-30. Dinnell goes past Acano. Ball runs loose. Samacano finds Tyrone Williams for the two. Transitioning from defense into offense. That's what Hoods are going to need to do. Finds the iron this time, Ekwe. Hoods shift the ball. Williams finds Acano, sets his feet, and pulls a three with the celebration from Tyrone Williams whilst he's on the floor. Ekwe finds Riabi. Egbe. Inola going at Nixon. Ainola.
Let's see you on this one. Time.
Obviously, not entirely sure what Ainola's stats are for the season from the stripe, but that's the first one he's made this evening. And he's got himself to the line several times. Hood's running offense, finds Akano. Shifts it back round. Bailey with the handoff. Donnell ignores all options, goes for the little pull-up. If they're going to give him it, then he will certainly take it. Ainola again. Finds Riabi. Shifts it into the middle. Dinor. Loses control. Great defense from Samakano. Once again, it's those fast feet that just get him in front of the player. It's one of the real positives within his game. That's certainly been something that he's massively brought to this defensive side when they do decide to switch on. Bailey. Guarded by and then fouled by Abuka Ekwe. So Hood's possession from the side, whilst Bristol look to make more changes. Branco's back on, and Ekwe sits down. So Hood's possession into the last 3 minutes of the first half. Tyrone finds some space and gets fouled on his way through. Reginald Egbe with the foul there. Looks like he might have got clonked on the way through, to be fair. It did look from this angle that the lane was massively opening up for Tyrone Williams there. Tyrone Williams, Philadelphia native, making himself well at home here in Nottingham. Misses the first of these. I was just about to say, but usually quite reliable. Unusual. Great block. Bryce Johnson from out of nowhere. Shifts it up court. Williams finds Akano, back to Williams, spacing. And Johnson lets the ball take out of his hands as he was just about to go up. Great rejection on the defensive end though. So, gives us Hood's possession. Just over 2.5 to go in the second quarter. Loose ball on the inside, but then a loose dribble from Ainola gives the ball back to Hoods, just inside the opposition half. Ball down low, Johnson takes the offload, kicks to Bailey, who finds the bottom of the basket. Nixon. Dinor, guarded by Akano. Akano starting to really pick up the pace on the defensive end. Williams guards Ainola, puts it up. Johnson pulls down the rebounds and shifts it up court quickly. Nixon pulls it down, pulls it from the mid-range. Loose. Tappy tap tap. Ball runs loose, everyone claims it's theirs. Which way the referee's saying? No, I swear no one still knows whose ball this actually is right now. Oh no, Hood's possession. So Roman Price back on, as is Baby. Great pass inside. Elliot Bailey, lovely little hook pass from Williams. Baby. Guarded, trapped, shifts. That's great defence. The trap at half court, Elliot Bailey saw it, denied the outlet, and then just thrown away under pressure. So Hood's in possession from the ball in. Tyrone Williams, Zachary Arby in front of him. At least I said Zachary Arby, he's just been told he needs to sat down. So we've got Luca Matthews back on. It'd be interesting to have a look at some of these stats at half time. Find out exactly what percentages people are working on. The Snow Hoods have been working on 50% field goals. But percentages increase when you find looks like that. Great finish from Tyrone Williams. Ball pushed ahead. Tom Brown runs it back, tries to throw it against someone's feet, misses them. So Johnson finds Nixon from deep, pulls up. Roman Price controls the ball and finds Matthews on the outlet. It goes to Williams. Ball hits the rim, and Nixon controlling the ball. Thought about it, got it back, kicks round. Williams fancied it, makes it. Great passing basketball by Hoods. It's really nice to see when it happens. Bebe guarded, loses it. Half court violation as that ball just ran over the halfway. So Hurd's got the ball. Just. Into the last 30 seconds. So timeout called. Big shout out to our sponsors, TGS.
It means a lot. Basketball's got huge potential at university, and we really pride ourselves on working with local partners to deliver a great experience for the students. I think one of the big things is the quality of coaching. So for us, coaching is really important, and the quality of the coaching that our student club's going to receive, we believe, is going to be second to none. It's going to take them to the next level, help them enjoy their sport, make friends, have fun, but be better players and better people for it. Success for us is a thriving club that's growing, that's engaging and inspiring the student population. We believe our club's got the ability to be in the top league in Bucks competition, and that we can recruit and attract domestic and international athletes to our programme.
So 26.9 seconds remaining on the clock. Hoods up by 20. Really pushed ahead. It's one of those Hoods games where the defence really sets up everything else that happens. Speaking of defence, it's one of the key figures. Samakano on the ball. Williams round to Bryce Johnson. Nixon guarded by Dinor. Kicks it back. Akano finds Bailey. Handing on the ball, handing on the arm. Tom Brown gets caught. So Bailey gets himself to the line to shoot two with 15 seconds left. Bristol making subs. Lajimi, Ionola and Ekwe back on court. And Hood's making subs as well. Samakano and Danelle Nixon the second taking a seat. Mike Savey Richards and Thierry Walker back on court again. Elliot Bailey hits every part of the ring except the one that lets it go back into the basket. Much more like we're used to seeing from Elliot Bailey. The captain leading by example. Full on pressure. Price kicks to the corner. Finds Jimmy. Gets caught on his way through. Little touch on the shooter. So Bristol making subs again. Lajimi shooting 3 free throws. Having missed the shot. Makes the first. Still 2 to come. First one. Half of the players forgot that it was a 3-pointer and they started playing on. Makes the third. Subs called. There's the other provision on the shooter. And they got another one in as well. So Zach Rialby back on court. Antti Bebe back on court. Johnson has the ball. Gets rid of Brown. Goes all the way to the basket. It's messy. We thought it was the end of the quarter. But looks like there's been a foul called. Just checking on the refs' calls at the minute. They're just having a chat and working out who got what for Christmas. Foul was called in the act of shooting against Tom Brown. So not sure at what point that happened, and if there is any time on the clock. Bristol looking at putting men in to go and grab rebounds. So there's literally 0.3 seconds left, the least amount of time you can have on a clock. Xavier Richards makes the first. Xavier Richards once again. Misses, and that is the end of the half. £49 to 30. That's the end of the first, and we'll be back with the second half shortly. I'm going to get out of the way, and then it means that I can actually stretch my legs rather than just have to stay tucked up to get out of the way for everybody else. away.
Sorry,
And we're back. We're back here for the second half of this game. Bristol Flyers seconds here against Nottingham Hoods at the Mapley Sports Village training centre for the Nottingham Hoods. As we start the second half, big shout out to those people who are watching in reception. Donnell Nixon, started now by Egby, shifts it round, Bailey. Williams. Foul call by number 5 on the inside. That's Marvin Donnell's first foul. Tyrone Williams finds Donnell Nixon, shifts it back. Tyrone finds a lane. And Janai Griffith finishes with the easy 2. Donnell under pressure from Akano. Lajimi has a bit of a miscontrol, gets it back. Donnell goes at Akano. Akano gets the ball and gets it back. Goes straight back at Donnell. Loses possession, finds his way around to Nixon. Bailey. Williams on the outside, jab step to get rid of his defender. And the 3 to finish. Donnell Nixon nearly nicked it away. Akano guarding Donnell. Price trying to get it back to Donnell. Ionola. Great defense. Shot clock runs out. I'm loving how hyped up Janai Griffith is right now. That's what we need. That's what the Hoods need, that energy. Here comes Donnell at speed. Finds Griffith. Gets bumped on the way through. So Egby bumps him on the way through, which means Janai going to go back to the line. That's timeout called. So Bristol call that one. Like I mentioned earlier on, Mapley Sports Village absolutely rammed out. There is not a spare seat in the place. And we're back. As I mentioned, it is rammed. I'm just going to give a shout out to all those people who are watching on the stream in reception at Mapley Sports Village, crowded round a telly because they can't find a seat. Make some noise if you're in reception. Granted, there is a bit of a delay, so I might hear from them in about 3 minutes. Anyway, we're back to the action on the court. Janai Griffith stepping to the line. It's been solid from the line this evening. It's one of those things in the modern day game. Big man got to be decent from the line because you're just going to get banged so much. And the second. Good communication from Hoods on defense. Brown. Najimi. Jamie strong from the outside. Hook pass, finds Bailey. Guarded by Lajimi this time. Griffith, Nixon. Tough shot. Ball runs loose. Ionola loses control, gets it back. Goes all kinds of different ways. Gets it back outside. Dinnell shifts it around. Lajimi finds a space. Goes at Griffith. Good strong stand. Ionola hooks it round and makes the basket. Foul called by Griffith. On Griffith, rather. So Janai Griffith called for another foul, which means they need to sit him down. And Ionola steps back to the line. And makes this one. Nixon putting on the afterburners, getting down court quickly. Foul called. Nixon makes the bucket. Runs loose. Ionola intercepted by Bailey. Well read. Nixon gets the ball back, shifts it around. Xavier Richards finds Nixon again. Akano with the setback. That one-on-one game. That's Ionola who wants to go back at him. No basket. Offensive foul call for hooking that time. Williams finds Bailey, guarded by Roman Price. Goes to the left hand and makes. Great pressure. Akano on the break. Goes himself. Sam Akano starting to feel it. You can see it when he's having one of those games. He's just enjoying himself. Hafid finds Brown. Price runs loose. Nixon. Akano shifts it. Williams looks at the outside. Looks at Ekwe. Wants to go at it. Finds Bailey. It's clocked. Interception. Williams for the strong finish. Timeout called for Bristol. With the score 66-36. I'm aware of the fact that some people have just turned on to watch this stream. Can I comment at the fact of you picked a good time, if you're Nottingham Hoods fan, certainly, because Hoods just seem to have turned up the defence, turned up the offence, turned up the intensity, and bringing it left, right and centre. I would like to apologise initially for number 5 Bristol, is Yusuf Hafid, who I've been getting the name wrong all day because I had it written down wrong in my notes. Not a player I know, so many apologies. Dinal not playing. Hafid is instead. So, Bristol ball in. Jimmy finds Ekwe. Foul call against Avery Richards. A lot of fouls going on right now. So, Bristol ball. Jimmy looking to put the ball in, just checking what's going on. Ekwe, who's looking to do something about getting some points back on the board. The Hood's picking up a little bit more. Hafid finds Lajimi. Guarded now by Akano. Big hook pass. Tom Brown from the corner. Finds the rim. Roman Price with a big rebound. Fouled on the way up. Bailey with the foul. Price with the finish. Subs in for Hoods. Elliot Bailey sits down. Bryce Johnson comes on. And Sam Akano, after a great defensive effort, finds a seat. And Thierry Walker back on court. So Bristol, Price makes the extra. There's Nixon, guided by Hafid. Finds the screen he wants. Offloads to Tyrone Williams, who goes with a little fake. Runs loose. Price picks it up. And finds Lajimi, who sets his feet. Finds the rim. Williams pulls it down. Finds Danell. Looked like there was a foul there somewhere. You could see Danell lining up to feed that back to Tyrone Williams. But not going down as a foul. It's just one of those basketball incidents. Ekwe goes to the left and the finish. Nixon, guarded by Hafid. Gets rid of him twice. Kicks to Bryce Johnson on the outside. Runs loose. Back to Tyrone. So Williams, guarded by Price. Kicks to the corner and back round to Nixon. Shift his feet, and the 3 finish. So that Hood's pressure, putting pressure on the ball. Finds Roman Price down the middle, who looked like he confused himself in that particular motion. Williams again, the leading scorer for Hoods this season, and once again leading today, I believe. Yeah. Williams leading Hood scores with 20 points. Make that 21, there it is. and subs in. And the scorer takes a seat. And subs in for Bristol as well. Hafid sits down, Nancy Baby comes on, and Tom Brown sits down, replaced by Lanre Ayanola. Hood's picking up in terms of the intensity of their defence, which does leave more gaps, which can be exploited. Roman Price with the nice flush. Maitland. Latrell has a little look, guided by Lajimi. Finds Harry Walker. Let's kick it round. Nixon drives. Finds a little floater on the way through. Ball in. Lajimi controls. Has a look. Ekwe. Back into Saviour Richards. Finds space, gets fouled on the way through. So, once again, subs in. Donnell Nixon, the second, takes a sit down and has a rest. Shout out to Donnell's mum. Abuka Ekwe working on a nice game at the moment. Tied for leading score for his team. And makes a second as well. Really flat shot, but very effective. Kano, guarded by Bebe. Latrell. Luca Matthews gets his hand on it. So again, Matthews gets a foot on it this time. So Maitland tries to get the ball in, runs loose. Hoods with hands on it. Saviour Richards runs loose, finds Maitland, who mops up the scraps. Ainola. Foul called against 23. So against Latrell Maitland there. Both teams on team fouls. Both teams committed a lot of fouls at the moment. And tied up just about in terms of their free throw shooting. Akano calms down, guarded by Baby. Trail Maitland from deep. That's 4 foul. So that means we see Aaron Sandu Nelson on court for the first time this evening. Score 76-46. Just over 2 minutes to go. And finds the front rim, nothing else. going to be one of those things he needs to work on when he gets back to training. Free throws is one of those things that I just think you need to be looking at making, and Ainla's been outstanding in certain parts of the game, but not that one. Johnson. Ainla once again. Kicks it around, Begbie. Blocked by Johnson. Great control by Johnson. Guarded by Matthews. Shifts it round. Akano works. You can see what he was trying to get rid of, but Bristol managed to get a hand to it. Ainla with a little scoop and the finish. And a technical foul called against Ainla for something that he said to the referee. And that's his fourth. So, because of that, he sits down and Zach Riabi comes back on court. And therefore, Bryce Johnson shoots the technical free throws. Misses up. But then possession comes back to the Hoods at halfway. So Maitland, guarded by Ekwe. Finds a cut in Akano. Sandu Nelson with the fake and shifts. Maitland finds a little lane through. Misses the layup. Ball runs loose. Matthews. Ball runs loose and finds its way to Egbe. Tip from Bristol. Don't know who got the touch, but somebody did. Akano calming things down and just making the call. Got it away in time and the finish. Right at the end of that one. Right at the end of the quarter. I don't know if you saw the the visuals of the chuck-a-duck that just happened. It's always a little bit chaotic. But we've got a game to carry on with. I'm just concentrating on the basketball at the moment. So, hoods up. Hoods up 79-50 as they enter the final quarter. And it's Abuka Ekwe to inbound. Anti-Baby. Ekwe again. Goes strong. The ball runs loose. Griffith controls. And Nixon now has Ekwe marking Williams. Matthews on him. Screen comes from Griffith, ignores it, goes to find a lane down the left, finds a cut in, Donnell Nixon into the little pocket and makes the two. Ball stripped, Williams makes the lane. There's another foul called. Technical foul called, which puts Bristol back at the line to just shoot one because they'll get possession back. I think it was called against Tyrone Williams, who's having a conversation with one of the refs about what was called and why and all the rest of that kind of stuff. In the meantime, Ekwe with the free throw that misses, as ball back to Bristol. Zach Riabi with the inbounds. Finds Baby. I'm aware of the fact that when I'm commentating it sounds like commenting about Baby, but I'm going with that pronunciation. I've stuck with it. My colleague described that as fancy footwork as opposed to a travel, but it doesn't matter. The ball went down the other way. And Thierry Walker finishes with the two. Ekwe, guarded by Williams, finds Bebe, guarded by Walker. Lot of isolation ball, in oh my life, from the logo. Ekwe, Abuka Ekwe, from the deep three. Offload from Nixon, doesn't run where he wanted it, comes back to Ekwe. Griffith gets his hands in it, dives for it. It's called the fact that he fouled him as opposed to got the ball. Does show how much Janai Griffith wanted that ball and has wanted the ball all evening. I believe that's his fifth foul. So Janai's got to sit down. Which Bristol will be delighted with because he's been a nuisance for them on the boards. And while the Hoods juniors mop up any moisture from the court, make sure it's okay to play on, and let's get the game back on. Egbe finds Ekwe, gets it back to Ekwe. Walker with his hand in the cookie jar. Puts Bristol back to the line again. Egby misses the first. He's wishing it in, willing it into the hoop, but it did not drop. Makes up for it with the second. Bristol nearly 30 free throws this evening. Nixon uses the screen, finds Johnson on the wing. Williams to the handoff, goes past Matthews and draws the contact. So Tyrone Williams steps to the line. I believe that was foul call against Luca Matthews. That was his first. Tyrone Williams solid from the line for the first one. And a second. Like I said earlier on, these two teams heading back down to Bristol next weekend. So they'll be making themselves familiar with what each other is like and working on plans to make changes next time. In the meantime, Zach Riabi opens his account with a three-pointer this evening. Williams comes back down court. Matthews in front of him. Squares him up, sets his feet for the three. Runs loose. Hafid finds Riabi, kicks it round. Ekwe, guarded by Williams. Ekwe sees space in front, shifts it to Hafid, who finds the bottom of the bucket. 2 threes in short succession from the Bristol Flyers twos. Brings them back 60 points to 87. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. So these two teams will be getting very acquainted and be back down in Bristol next weekend. And then following that, hopefully, the Hoods will be back at Harvey Haddon for the visit of the Derby Trailblazers. Big shout out to Hood sponsors: TGS Gyms, Mercure Hotels, the University of Nottingham, Virtue Kia Nottingham, Kit King, Public, Locate Me, Nike, and Red Bull and Rollover. Thank you to all our sponsors. It helps us put everything together and means that we can put days like this together to entertain all the families that are sat around me. Like literally next to me. I do hope they don't worry about having someone talking all the way through the game. No, he's not bothered, it's fine. Back to the game. Nixon, good shifting ball. Bryce from the corner, runs deep. Bristol get it back. Hafid coming back down court, shifts it. Oh, uses height to get that one down. Interception. Williams finds space, gets challenged. Bryce with the follow-up and the putback. Hafid, guarded by Nixon. Shifts it to Egby, gets it back. Runs loose. Johnson finds Williams. Gets it back. And through the middle. Strong finish. Luca Matthews. Goes to the left and the nice finish. Nixon. The little American football shovel pass didn't quite make it there. (91-62) the score. So Lajimi gets it back in play. Yusuf Hafid, guided by Akano. Offensive foul called. I don't know if anyone else saw the lip reading from Donnell Nixon. Frazee leant over to the sideline and said, "I told you I'd get him." I mean, he's been doing all game and we haven't seen it, but he thought he had, and now the referees have as well. And Nixon ends up with the ball. Guarded by Lajimi. Price switches on, gets away from Johnson, finds a bit of space. Bailey kicks round Akano. Foul called. I think it was called on Bryce Johnson for pulling his man out of the way in his eagerness to get towards the rebound. Hafid, guarded by Akano. I love watching Sam Akano play defense. When he switches on, he can just be one of the most annoying defenders you could possibly wish for. It's great work from the Hoods defense. But a really good job from Yusuf Hafid to make the two. Williams guarded by Brown. Bailey gets it at the top of the key. Hands in on it. Hafid got his hand to it, but it came off the leg. So it means Bristol possession. Riabi, good little cameo, has to sit back down while Ayenda comes back on court. Hafid chase it round. Ayenda. Price looking to set the pick. Great dive to the basket, ignored by the offense, but gets it when he comes back up. Ayenda looking in the corner. Hafid wants it himself. Akano's got past his man. Kicks to the corner for Maitland. Great rebound. Johnson gets his man up, draws the contact. Bit of experience there just to get his man up in the air. And that's the fifth foul gone. So that means Roman Price is done for the day. He's had a good game. I've been impressed with that young man. He's done a really good job. Strong screen set, good rebounds, good roll, dive to the basket when you need to. And Bryce Johnson just used a little bit more experience, I think, in that situation. And makes from the free throw line. Hafid finds a bit of space, goes at it. Ayinla from the outside. He'll want to drive. Kicks to the corner. Lovely pass. Or Brown a little bit unbalanced, but AB comes up with it. And the little two. Williams. Game's gone a little bit relaxed now, shall we say. Oh! Bryce Johnson with the two-handed flush. From distance as well. Yeah, he definitely wanted that one. Hafid with Johnson in front of him now. Foul called against Samarkano. Subs made, Johnson sits down after that lovely finish. Xavier Richards comes on to take his place. (95-66) the score. Reginald Egbe misses the first. Maybe makes the second. (95-67). Tyrone Williams takes a well-earned break. I think he's probably done for the evening. Kano, guarded by Hafid, goes past him, brings it back. Samarkano wanting to use up all of the 24 seconds. Pulls it. Won't be happy with that one affecting his stats. Got that one at the very last second. Ainla finds Tom Brown from the corner. Goes to the finger roll, misses. Xavier Richards just calms down. Sandu Nelson, who's back on court, just takes a minute. Offloads Samarkano. This is where you can really see Samarkano's one-on-one skills. We know him as a one-on-one player. People across the country know Samarkano as a one-on-one player. And he just loves that setup at the top. Just give me some time, give me the basketball, give me a man in front of me, let me play the game. Ball gets stripped from Ainla, and it's back to Akano. It's to Bailey. Fumble means that it runs loose. I don't know whose fault it is. They'll blame each other. And on for the first time, Sean Jameson Jr. takes Samarkano's place as Samarkano sits down. Hafid was being defended there. Looks like there may have been a bump or an injury. Thankfully, nothing too serious. Just drove straight down into the trap. Hoods up by 30, 97-67. Hafid trapped. Well out. Finds Egbe. To Brown. Finds Hafid. Ainla. Draws the contact. So Ainla back to the line. Definitely one of... Yeah, okay, both in that time. Jameson drives at Ainla. Finds a bit of space. Xavier Richards. Bailey finds Maitland. Kicks to the corner. Fake. Goes up. Gets his own rebound. Well done, Sean Jameson. Good effort. Hafid. Great defensive work once again. Hafid guarded by Bailey. And the shift. Foul called against Elliot Bailey. Yeah, okay. Puts Hafid at the line this time. He's made both of his so far tonight. Makes the first. Just over 1 minute to go in this one. So, Jameson, guarded by Hafid, gets into the offensive half. Wants to go to the basket. Great offload. Elliot Bailey with the finish. And ball runs loose into the last minute. Savory Richards makes the bucket. Take the Hoods over the 100. High and low. Goes to the basket again. He's done that really well tonight. Hasn't done well from the free throw line, to be honest, but Savory Richards goes at Brown. There we go. And a point to the social media team as well. I dare say we'll see that one on Insta at some point in the next few days. Hafid, guided by Jameson. Time running down. There's still shots left. Props to Bristol for running it all the way through. Lajimi from deep. There's an unwritten rule, and he knows what it is. Final score, 103-73. To the Nottingham Hoods, thank you to all those people who've been watching. Sorry I haven't been shouting out too much to YouTube, but I do hope you've enjoyed watching the game. The Hoods have managed to get themselves a win, which they needed to start off 2026, and we'll be back down to Bristol next week. Once again, thank you to all those people watching overseas. Thank you to those people who are watching in reception. Thank you to Jonathan, who's watching all the way over in Rwanda. I haven't ignored you, Jonathan. That's just the way it is. Anyway, thank you ever so much for checking out this Hoods feed, and we will be back here with another home feed for the visit of the Derby Trailblazers in a couple of weeks' time. Hopefully we'll be at Harvey Haddon for that one, and if I don't see you there, hopefully you'll be able to hear us online. See you then.